TCB at Martinsville last weekend. Wasn't expecting a win going into that, but we just benefited from little stuff throughout the race. Just we put our thinking cap on, did some smart pitch strategy, got out in front of Dale Jarrett, and that was it. And the tail end of that, we were just able to coast and win, just like New Hampshire. Martinsville's a miniature New Hampshire. Taking a look at the points going into this with 5 races remaining. We're 40 points behind Jeff Gordon for the Winston Cup. Playoff battle's pretty tight. Ken Schrader's done with, 2 DNFs here. Now we're hitting up Charlotte. We did well here the first time, but got to do better. Gordon ran away with this in his T-Rex car, so hopefully he doesn't bring the same car here with the DuPont paint scheme. We're starting 15th here. None of the playoff drivers are starting lower than 18th. We're rolling off 5 races remaining. Terry Labonte has the pole here. Gordon's up there starting 6th. We're doing a 50% race, 167 laps. Cautions are very rare at Charlotte, so I actually have 2 random cautions set up for this. This is going to be fast in a hurry. Dover, that was just a weird thing on new tires. I just hate that track on new tires. That's what caused the wreck with Kyle Petty. We just weren't prepared to go into turn 1 there, but we're over it. That was 2 races ago. We're definitely over it, but you have to take any lesson you can get. Here we go. Pit window is going to be about 60-some laps. We want to get to the front here. Obviously, that's the name of the game, but hello. We didn't have any issues with the AI the first time around here at Charlotte. I'm actually a big fan of the AI here. Kenny Wallace a little bit out of his element starting up here. Shouldn't be too wild though. Jeff Gordon on the top line. A few rows ahead of us. Next race after this is Talladega, where anything can happen. And then we do Rockingham, Phoenix, and Atlanta. And that's it. Atlanta's pretty much the same layout as Lowe's. I have the AI difficulty ready to go there. Rockingham, I'm actually thinking about bringing the AI's fuel usage up, meaning they have to pit earlier than they would just for tires, because I don't want to drive around Rockingham for half of the race at 7 miles an hour. Although that is part of the charm, I guess, of Rockingham. It's just boring. So instead of having the AI pit at like 90 laps, where the last 40 of that run is just crawling around worrying about your tires. We might bring it down to 60 laps where they have to pit for fuel after 60, and then we just have to self-police ourselves and pit with them for fuel. Role play a little. Alright, let's see if we have something for them here. My fastest lap at the Coca-Cola 600 was a 29.7. And the chains are finally off here, and we can run pretty fast here now. My big fear is Gordon just gets in front and runs away again. And if he does, we have to finish second. We can't lose any points. Alright, they're racing side by side here. That's good. Nope. If I recall correctly, we're faster than the AI at the beginning of the run, and then things settle down. So that's why we're setting the world on fire right now. We actually settled in there for a few laps, but we're starting to pick off some slower cars that had good starting positions here. I mean, we had Kenny Wallace and we have Chad Little there. But everyone else coming up, they're top dogs. Jeff Bodine shouldn't be here. Michael Waltrip, he's actually having fun running here because he wrecked on the first lap of the 600. But I think Bobby Labonte and I are going to get around him as well. And something tells me Labonte was fast as hell in the 600. I don't know why. Something just hit me. I think he was in second behind Gordon or something. And when we were a lap down, we were trying to hold Bobby Labonte off. I can't remember. I just remember Bobby Labonte being pretty fast. There he goes. Ooh, they're racing side by side up here for whatever. Fifth. Alright, they're gonna fall back in line. We need them to race if we want to catch them. Then again, Bobby Labonte is fast. I think drafting with him and learning his lines it's gonna help here. We're slowly reeling them in. Very slowly. But you can see how fast Gordon is here. I mean, he was just racing with Rusty Wallace and Terry Labonte up there, and then he passed them, and then he's gone. So, all right, Terry Labonte making a move on Rusty Wallace. We're going to try to get in on this. Never mind. We are going to try to get in on this. Yeah, we're just gonna ride we're gonna ride Bobby Labonte till he bucks us off, I guess. Here goes Labonte on Rusty Wallace. Almost forgot to get in behind Bobby Labonte there. All right, now we got Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin racing side by side. And if they keep that up, we're going to close this gap. Like right now. All right, let's go, Bobby. I hit the wall coming out of 4 in the Coke 600. Didn't really affect the car that much, but something to keep in mind. Hit it in practice as well before this race. Man, I'm trying to figure out what I've done mentally that helps me preserve my tires more now. I really don't get it. Because we usually be struggling to get to lap 60, 65, 70 on these these ovals and the tri-oval tracks. Texas, Atlanta, Charlotte. And we're going to easily get to lap 70 here. And again, we have 2 random cautions this race somewhere. All right. I'm not really making a big fuss about passing Jeff Gordon right there because he was just hung out to dry. He's going to be back on us here very soon. And to be honest, depending on how the race goes, I may be cursing myself for turning on random cautions. Because we did not get a good jump on that first one. And we were able to catch up because everyone was running 2x2. But if they're running single file, they might run away. Meanwhile, we're running away from Jeff Gordon a little bit. Because I'm not going to race Bobby Labonte. We're going to stay in line here. But Bobby Labonte had a bad 3 and 4 there. Here comes Gordon. Random caution. That's an early one. All right, we're in good prime position. Man, we were going to be lapping guys already? Looks like it. Obvious opportunity for everyone to take on fresh rubber. And it just hit me that I forgot to, in a happy hour, to see where our pit stall was. And I don't know the speed limit until right about now. 45. We're looking for Scarlett's beautiful face. I think I got her.
Watch that speed now. Keep it on 3,500 in seconds.
Not a good entry. Whatever. Plenty of room here. Elliott had plenty of room.
Turn one.
Nobody coming. Drop the jack.
Go, go, go.
Let's go.
45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds. The pace car in turn two. Okay, you're clear of pit lane. Stay behind the 18 cars.
What did we do? We gained a spot. Where's Dale Jarrett? I have no idea. Where's Jeff Gordon? I don't know. We'll find out. About to go green here again. 9 of the 10 playoff drivers are in the top 10 right now. Terry Labonte is back in 17th. Dale Jarrett's back in 12th. So I'm guessing those guys at the front of pit road had an issue getting off. Jeff Gordon in 5th. Let's just do the best we can on this restart.
Pace car's in.
And I don't like how many laps are left here.
Green, green, green.
Because that's 130 left. That means we need 2 65 lap tire runs. And we did fine on our tires the first time. But, I don't know. Just thinking out loud when I should be concentrating on some perfect new tire laps here. No.
Car inside. Clear. Inside. Clear.
I was not letting out. Man, he fell off of Mark Martin. Here we go.
Speed low. The next car is the leader. Clear outside.
Skipped a little chunk there. After we passed Bobby Labonte, he held up everybody. He just fell off. I don't know what happened on that one lap. But he just had a bad something. He's back in 7th. 4 seconds off of the leader, and those guys got stuck behind him, and Mark Martin is our new best friend right now, and we're just staying with him. We're not trying to get out. And do anything crazy. We still haven't led a lap. So we want to lead a lap here eventually, but I want to build up this lead on Jeff Gordon. And yeah, the This fall race in 1997 at Lowe's at Charlotte wasn't a night race, but NR2003 only has the night version of the track, and I didn't want to download another one and try to figure out all the AI stuff. So we're just doing this. And I was talking earlier about Rockingham and changing the fuel mileage stuff there. I'm going to do that at some other tracks. Dover, I mean, we were just there. That was brutally slow. You guys didn't have to really watch any of that because I tried to skip as much as I could after we just fell in line and were playing a tire conservation game. I wouldn't mind bringing up those speeds. Instead of a 90 lap run, maybe it's like 65. Trying to think if any other tracks stand out. Martinsville was great. Martinsville was awesome with the difficulty and stuff. We ran away, maybe that's why it's awesome, but it wasn't like that in the beginning of the race. We were battling. Richmond, maybe. Everybody's a little slow there. Bristol, the speeds stay up. I'm not worried about that. Alright, Gordon, I've been watching him. He's slowly reeling us in here. He was gaining 4 or 5 hundredths. He just lost 2 hundredths there. No lappers yet. I mean, they're only a half a lap down. That just shows how good Gordon is. He's run away from that next group, and he's actually tracking us down. That's actually a little bit too good, if we're gonna be honest. Now, I don't think... Yeah, he has not... Gordon has not led a lap this race. So... Alright, he's 186 now. So... If he gets to within under a second of us, we're going to jump out in front of Mark Martin and lead a lap, take the lead, and try to keep Gordon from leading a lap. Gordon has fallen off, but so have we, just a little bit, from Mark Martin. He's holding stuff into turns a little bit better than we can. Just enough to be annoying. I think we just lost this draft, and it's just impossible to pick it back up. Unless you get a perfect turn like this. Which that wasn't even perfect, but we're back on him. So that wasn't hard. 3 seconds back to Gordon. Alright, he's 3 seconds ahead of Urban. We'll keep an eye on that to see if we've just gotten good or Jeff Gordon's gotten bad. Mark Martin acted fishy there for a second. We got to get to lap 100-ish, a little on the north side of 100. Tires are looking fine. We've got lappers in the distance. Checking to see what the Gordon-Irvin interval is. Yeah, he's gaining on he's yeah. He's his lead's getting bigger on Ernie Irvin. Oh, there's the exit. That was good. Man, a nice 3-second cushion on Gordon. But a caution might come out and it will all be moot. We haven't lost any cars. Playoff drivers are all still doing good. Dale Jarrett in 18th. He restarted in 12th, I think. So he's not doing well. That's a big crime in this season, how bad he did. And not even just bad luck. I mean, he also had the weird mechanical stuff that we fixed. But then, just, he should be in the Mark Martin tier. And he just isn't. I don't know if the game just says, hey, like, say we had a field of 43 Jeff Gordon talent cars in the field. Guess what? They all can't run as well as our Jeff Gordon did this year. And I'm thinking the game, if some cars are just so evenly matched, I'm guessing the game will just pick some to be better than the rest, some to be worse than the rest. Because I don't know. That'd be an interesting experiment to do. Have a field of the 43 Jeff Gordons from this season, run a season, and see if, you know, a couple of them are just better than the others. I don't know. Those are the things that go through your mind as you follow Mark Martin around at Charlotte in order to win a fictional championship on a video game. But that's what we gotta do. And we got lappers coming up here pretty soon. Here come the lappers. One thing I'm going to miss of this mod, look inside Mark Martin's car. You see his nameplate in there? That's the nameplate we see whenever we go into the cockpit view for replays. And I never really have to mention what car we're... Even though I do, I really don't have to mention what car we're in because it's obvious. And I think this is one of the few mods that has that. And we lucked out with that. We were able to use that for our in-car camera stuff when we were doing broadcasts. That was pretty cool. I'm definitely going to miss that. Alright, we have a nice gap between us and Gordon. So whenever we take down these lappers, we have some wiggle room. Holy hell, look 4 or 5 cars up. That's Chad Little, who I remember us blowing past in the early going. Alright, we gotta concentrate now. We've been kind of daydreaming. This past little while. But now There's a lot of stuff that can happen. Greg Sachs could lose his motor here. And we'll be a doofus and run into him or something and spin out. And we go from second place to dead last. Really wish we didn't put in an extra caution here. But, I mean, if Mark Martin's gonna... This is stupid. Nope, that worked. Never mind. I'm getting brazen. We got, I don't know, 15 more laps. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know the exact window that they use for pitting. I took that opportunity because I knew Mark Martin was going to get stuck behind lappers. And once he gave us a window, we took it. So we've let our lap lookout wall. But whatever train of thought I was on earlier about pit stops, we restarted with 130 to go, which would be 65 halfway, so that'd be 10 more laps halfway from that last pit stop. But it depends on what the pit window is. My big fear would be a caution coming out here in the next little bit. Boy, those guys are really slow back there. Yeah, Mark Martin, I guess he just can't get around Benson. Yeah, Mark Martin finally got around Johnny Benson, and Mark Martin's going to be right on us here in this turn. Because I'll be honest, I started kind of taking it easy. Making sure we didn't wreck with these lappers, making sure we keep our tires throughout the rest of this run. We're coming up on the halfway mark from that pit stop. And Kyle Petty's line here these last few laps has been annoying. Can't remember what kind of signal they throw up to say they're pitting. And by that I mean just some weird move. It's more obvious at some tracks than others. Dover, for example, you really don't get one until they put on the brakes, as we learned. And what we also learned is don't pit early at Charlotte. And apparently we have enough ass in the car to make a pass on the outside late in the run. On a lapper, of course, but... Wait a minute, did Mark Martin disappear? Yeah, look how weird those numbers are. So Mark Martin pitted. So that was the halfway mark. Everyone decided to pit. There goes another pitter. So,
Clear inside.
the sooner we pit, the better now, unfortunately. Or fortunately. But points are all relative. Jeff Gordon, 15 seconds back, so that means he pitted. Which means we're pitting here. I kind of messed up. I don't know what I was thinking there. We'll come back around.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh!
Back to the line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Looks like we're running low on fuel. If that fuel pressure gauge starts to drop, come on in.
So that's a fuel thing. Okay, we better be able to make it back around.
Pit road is closed.
Boy, we got bit by awful caution timing the first time.
Okay, we're under caution. Catch up to the pace car. Stay behind the pace car. Past the 40 car.
And the gods really paid us back here. Where's the pace car at? Because I have to pit.
Whoa, 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 slow down.
Nobody hit me. I'm anxious to see what these look at Gordon 23rd. Okay, let's not get wild.
Road is now open. We got trouble in the pit. We got a wreck in turn 1.
We're gonna wreck in turn 1.
Limit 45. Keep it under
45.
in seconds. The pace cars on the front stretch.
Okay, we were able to keep our speed really well through that run.
Watch that speed now.
Oh, don't
Keep
speed,
it
you
over
idiot.
3,500 in seconds.
You got the world laid out for you here.
The pace cars in turn 1.
I'm guessing we are losing some spots.
Go, go, go! Yes, we nailed that.
It's not like we lapped the whole field here. Don't even go near the speed limit. It's meaningless.
Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
Just relax.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
Okay,
Stay behind the 29 on the outside line.
here we go. Let's take a look at exactly what's happening here. Mark Martin is behind us. We're in the lead. Mark Martin's behind us. But he's a lap down. This is just, it's kind of chaotic. Jeff Gordon's in 19th. Anytime the caution comes out during pit stops, it gets wild. Ken Schrader had another DNF. Let's go find that, actually. Alright, looks like we had another under caution bunch up. Big bangs there. Jeff Gordon, come on, hit him. Nope. But we lost a lot of those cars in the back. None of the big boys. Except for Ken Schrader, of course. Why couldn't Jeff Gordon been in that? I don't know how I would have felt about that, though. Yeah, I don't know how I would have felt about Gordon being taken out by AI weirdness. Alright, we're not going to get our good jump here at all. We can go the rest of the way. Let's not be wild here. Let's not bring out a caution. Because as it stands, if there's not another caution, Jeff Gordon can't finish higher than 17th. He's not going to be able to get a... Well, he might. He might be able to lap the field. But
Pace cars in.
we can't bring out a caution. We can't jump this restart.
Green, green, green. That car's a lap down.
Let's not get wild. Let's just find a time and a place to get down to this line. Oh, hold on to her. I see you, Ward Burton. No problem. Hello, Wall. Okay. Whew. Let's not forget. Let's not forget Mark Martin is fast. Wait. All right. Figured we'd get a wreck. Let's keep Jeff Gordon behind us. We're not giving Mark Martin a lap back. Let's keep an eye on what's happening here, though. Big wreck. Jeff Gordon wasn't in it, so I don't care. Bobby Labonte was in it. I do know that much. Let's see. Looks like Marlin clipped Sachs and brought him up the track. And that's your caution, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're getting ready to go green. We're in 1 and 2 here. We got Gordon 2 cars back behind us on the inside. He's going to get a big jump. They're going to get their big jump and get out in front of us here. And we got to decide if we're going to be cool and just ride out the rest of the race, or if we want to make sure we keep Gordon a lap down. Because if we keep him a lap down, another caution comes out, he can't gain any more spots. I think that's the move. Thankfully, you know, we haven't even spent tires here. Essentially 15 laps, 12 laps into this run. So we can really spend him here early to try to catch Gordon, get around him, and settle in. Meanwhile, John Andretti, Bill Elliott, Terry Labonte are hungry behind us.
Get ready now. Going green.
Let's see. And yeah, Bobby Labonte did not DNF. Ken Schrader did. What are you doing, Mark? Yep, no room to get under there. Let's not play ourselves and bring out a caution on our own. Well, let's catch Gordon here. Oh, he's a bug on a rug. He knows what our game plan is. Yeah. Morgan Shepherd. Nope. Oh. I do not feel good about this. Fun racing, but with the championship in the picture, I don't like it. Alright guys, no cautions here. Yeah, we're getting wild. We gotta have Mark Martin hold Jeff Gordon here. Oh, this is a fast lap, Jack. Let's get the draft. What do we got? Nope. How the heck did I turn in a 29.7 at the 600? Sorry, Jeff. Yeah, you had fun at the 600 when you won by 12 seconds. Not happening here.
That car's a lap down.
And we've been here before. Driving with Mark Martin, pulling away from Jeff Gordon. We're going to do it again. Again, if you've heard me talk all season, the last thing I want is to just run away with races, just mindlessly run around the track, win the race, I'm number one, etc. That's not what this is about. But, I mean, New Hampshire, we got lucky. Because right now I'm thinking this is going to be our third win here in the playoffs. Third win in 4 races in the playoffs. And it might just be a combination of factors. Could be the second time we're seeing a bunch of these tracks. I mean, that could be the only factor, actually, why we're doing better. I haven't touched any of the difficulties. I've actually sped up. I actually sped them up at Dover and sped them up at Martinsville. Or sped them up at New Hampshire. And I think, again, this is just our luck. Luck really came into play here with that caution. And I still, maybe when I replay it back and watch what happened on that lap where we decided not to pit, I'll try to remember what my thought process was, but I can't even think about it right now. I just remember Chad Little was in front of us, and I got lost in my head doing math or something. I don't know, I just wasn't concentrating, but it turned out it turned out beneficial to us. All right, Gordon's coming again. And this sucks too. Not sucks, but I mean, messing with the AI difficulty, it's just going to be a never-ending battle. And part of the equation is going to be stepping away from the game for a while and then coming back. And we'll be running each track once in that next season. Because right now, yeah, I said it's a combination of factors earlier, than I retracted that statement, but it really probably is. It's a combination of us just getting good throughout the season and really just we're in a groove right now. Dover was just a one-off situation. Where if we could rewind and reset our mindset on that Johnny Benson lap, who knows? We finished top 10 there. If I recall correctly, these guys were racing pretty hard until eventually they weren't. So we're just gonna hang on to Mark Martin here. Meanwhile, Johnny Andretti's 2 seconds behind us. I don't see Johnny Andretti beating us. I mean, that's another thing we have luck on our side, is we're racing Martin and Gordon right now, which should be for the lead, but they're not. So, I mean, we really don't have any challengers here because they're all a lap down. Anyway, 39 to go. All right, something to think about. We're passing Loy Allen. Mark Martin almost hit him. Could be so there might be a caution coming out, because I I don't recall ever even encountering a slow car here like we do at the restrictor plate tracks. And this is a fast ass track. So those guys might get to him at the wrong time on the track. Spin him out, bring out a caution. So it's imperative that we stay ahead of Gordon here. Mark Martin, not too concerned about his adventure at Martinsville. Really hurt him. And regardless, if he catches us in the points, that probably is meaningless to us, because Gordon isn't going to drop down to us. Alright, what's Gordon want to do here? Oh. Gordon's making a move. I just think we got stuck behind Mark Martin there. And Jeff Gordon found the hole. Not where we want... No. Not where we want to be right now. We want to be ahead of Gordon. Like, a caution could come out right now. And we go from feeling pretty comfortable and content with this race's results to it getting wild, because then Gordon can gain a bunch of spots on that next restart. So I'm using the tires where I have to here. We have plenty of tires left. So we're just going to fall back in line with Mark Martin and honestly just hope we pull away from Gordon now. Yeah, this is where we're at. We got 22 to go. We're going to have 21 to go at the line. We're coming up on lappers. Gordon's not going away. Mark Martin's the car to beat here, though. I've probably finally started getting some chances to pass him these last few laps. But dive in there, Mark. Dive in there, Mark. Oh, dang it. Ernie Irvin's the king of beat-up cars this season. You want to know a weird stat? And I knew about it before Richmond, and it totally slipped my mind. And I'll show the stats at the end of the season. But I've been keeping track of top 5s, top 10s, laps led, and also laps run. Who's run the most laps? So if you have DNFs, your numbers goes way down, etc. Blake Speed was leading the series in laps led before Richmond, and then he didn't qualify there, and that killed his lead. But like, that was just astonishing. I meant to bring it up in another video and I forgot. And that number, he didn't jump out to me. He jumped out to me a little bit whenever I was mentioning stats during the Brickyard, and I didn't mention it there. And it killed me when I saw that he lost his big laps. It wasn't a big laps lead, but just a very unique stat. He didn't have any DNFs. Most of these other guys have had DNFs or they finished back in the pack. And he's never done that. He's been finishing on the lead lap, a lap down here or there, 2 laps down here or there.
Inside. Clear. Inside.
All right, Gordon's pushing us.
Stay high.
We're gonna use up our tires here.
Keep high.
As I said, Mark Martin's been giving us some openings recently.
Clear inside.
And we're gonna be able to run faster than them here because they're not calculating the end of the race. And I think by passing Mark Martin, we just gave Jeff Gordon a point. So I ask yourself this question.
Keep low.
Should we actually hang back here and make sure Gordon doesn't pass Martin? Because that's going to be an extra point we gain, and guess what? That's what we're doing.
Outside. Clear.
There's no guarantee that Gordon would pass Martin,
That car's a lap down.
but this is what we're doing. We're going to be coming up on 13 to go. Kind of a jerk strategy, but it's what you got to do sometimes. We're comfortably in the lead. 4.5 seconds. I think it was around this point in the run where we started pulling away from Gordon in that other run. Man, I'm going to be... This picture right here is going to be in my... Just when I close my eyes, that's all I'm going to see is Cummins Valvoline 6. Because we've been following him for probably 156 laps. We've probably been in this situation here following him for 130, 120 maybe. It looks like Gordon's going to be done. I'm not even entirely sure we're going to catch these lappers either by the end of the race. Alright, Mark Martin has significantly slowed up. And we're having a harder and harder time staying in line with him, keeping Gordon behind us. Gordon's getting these little runs. He's going to peek to the left here. There he goes. And we're kind of blocking him. But you can see how slow Martin is. And Gordon's going to get another run. So, I mean, this is... we're going to pass on the outside. If Gordon's going to pass Martin, he has to do it on his own. We're not punching that ticket for him. But we're obviously faster than them. We can use up our tires more. Yeah. And we're going to coast away here. And it looks like Gordon's going to pass Martin just... I was hoping he was going to keep up his speed, but he's not going to.
Just 2 to go.
coming around to get the white flag. Bill Elliott has gotten around Johnny Andretti. Jeff Gordon's gotten around Mark Martin.
That car's a lap down. Last lap. You the man.
I still think...
Bring it home.
Okay, let's not think anything right now. Nice and steady. We're just chilling here. We came in 40 points behind Gordon. I think we're going to gain 20 points to cut that in half. And with 4 races to go, we'll be 20 points back.
Car outside.
Bam.
You won. You know what? You drove a great race out there.
You're not entering the pits before us there, Jeff. Actually, we're not going into the pits. Because we have some celebrating to do. And remember at California
Come on in.
where I said that signage on the grass sucked. Looks good now, doesn't it? Hell yeah. Let's take a look at the results. We actually led the most laps by 13 laps here. I would have bet that we didn't. I thought Mark Martin led more. That's wild. Bunch of playoff guys finished in the top 10. We're methodical, keeping Gordon a lap down. We were able to do that. That was big. Because guess what? He would have swept around on a caution and finished 8th. So we probably more than that. So I mean, we might have gained anywhere from 8 or 15 points by doing that strategy. And nothing else going on. Earnhardt's there. Bobby Labonte got into an accident here. And of course, Ken Schrader, 3 DNFs in the playoffs. We have 3 wins in the playoffs. He has 3 DNFs. And the moment I've been waiting for, the points. We're 6 points behind Gordon for the playoffs. Who cares? We're looking at the Winston Cup points. We're 18 points behind him. Martin, we were tied after Dover, but him on the merry-go-round at Martinsville killed his chances, or even just getting to the accident hurt his chances. And look at Dale Jarrett. I forgot to mention that he's in the top 10. He was in the top 10, I think after Dover or after Martinsville. I think after Martinsville he jumped into the top 10, and I forgot to mention it. But he's there now, and look at Ken Schrader over there on the left. That's why Dale Jarrett's in the top 10, because Ken Schrader's fallen out of the top 10 in the Winston Cup battle, but of course Ken Schrader's in the playoffs. Alright, here we go. We got 4 races left. This next race coming up, it could be make or break. We're going to Talladega, full damage, everything how it was at the Daytona 500, and we're going to see how it goes. See you there. Thanks for watching.